Hay unos que es más abierta la censura y otros que es por debajo del agua, pero la censura está ahí.
I understood the question in Spanish, but I will answer in English. Maybe my answer, mi respuesta, maybe it will surprise you. I think I have a lot of religious students coming to my writing workshops. Many of them. And it's getting more and more common for religious people to write and to experience arts and to be creative. So I see, on one hand, there is a process of the country becoming more and more religious, number-wise, statistically. But on the other hand, there's another process happening. Religious people are getting more and more open-minded, and there are silent changes, undertow changes in the religious society. I see them with my students, the things that they write about, the new generation of religious young people, they are daring to write about things that their parents would never write about. And I also saw it with my book, Amores Solitarios, when it was published in Israel, because the mikveh, the ritual bath, is a religious Orthodox institution. I was sure that the rabbis would ban the book. They would say this book should not be read. They would censor the book, at least for their community. On the contrary, they were talking about this book. They were putting posts on Facebook about this book. They were much more open-minded than I imagined. Maybe my experience is also influenced from the fact that I live in a town in Israel which is half religious and half secular. It's called Ra'anana. It's 50-50. And the relationship, not as in Jerusalem, the town that I was born in, when there's a lot of fights between religious and secular, but the relationship in my town is much more tranquilo. People are making their compromises. So I have to say, maybe because I was born in a democratic country, and for me democracy and the freedom of speech is so natural that I can't even imagine someone telling me what to write or what not to write. I have to say I'm not worried. I'm not worried from censorship, and I'm not worried from religious people or intimidated by them. I'm much more curious about them than intimidated. I don't share a lot of my colleagues in the artists or intellectuals in Israel immediately see religious people as a threat. Those people who want to oppress us, who are they are dangerous to our future. I have to say I don't share this view. I don't think that someone who is religious is immediately a threat on democracy. It depends on what kind of religious. It depends on the generations. I think there's something happening. So. That's my answer, and that's my approach, and I think you can feel it in the book, because I have religious people in Amores Solitarios doing things that religious people don't do usually, and they are questioning religion and belief, and they're doing it in a very daring way that I find within my students. So this is my take on this pregunta.
So I totally agree. And because I live in Jerusalem, I can tell you about my own experience. Jerusalem is seen as, first of all, Jerusalem is the city of the three monotheistic religions: Islam, Christianism, and Judaism, but in the other order, okay? Now, in Jerusalem, you have three different populations. You have the Arab Palestinian population, and the Jewish population is divided into Orthodox, which is 1/3 of the population, more or less, and the other part for other Jewish, non-Orthodox. But among those, there are people with a kippah, people praying, people practicing all the text of the religion, and you have secular, and a lot of people tell me, from Tel Aviv, I have a lot of friends in Tel Aviv. Most of them are in Tel Aviv, and our sons are in Tel Aviv. They left Jerusalem. And it's happening in a lot of families, because Tel Aviv is the business center of the country. So if you want, after your army military service, after university, you are looking for a job, you then stay in Jerusalem. It will not come from the sky. Okay, you go to Tel Aviv. Now, the Tel Avivian and the Jerusalem are like two different countries who speak the same language. This is very funny, because I go very often to Tel Aviv. I have two granddaughters, so I have two good reasons to go to Tel Aviv. And Tel Avivian says, oh, Tel Aviv is more pluralistic than Jerusalem. I said, no, just the contrary. In Tel Aviv, you are all the same. You agree between yourself. Jerusalem is pluralistic because there's a place for each one, each religion. There's a fight, in brackets, a fight for, let's say, the life of the city. I believe that if the city would be a majority of Orthodox of both sides, it will lose something. And I think that the culture, all the fields of culture will be touched by that. But it's not happening. It's not happening. Still down now, there's a comeback of young people who come to Jerusalem to make culture, theater and cinema and other activities, to try to keep this city very open to the world. And I stay, you know, when I immigrated to Israel, to me Israel was one thing. I did not know there were differences. I thought that Israel was a big kibbutz. This is what I had in mind, because I was a young socialist. That we were all equal, which is not true. But at the beginning, I became a Jerusalemer because the Academy of Art, the only one, was in Jerusalem. That's where I studied. This is where I teach since '82. But now, if I stay in Jerusalem, this is for political reasons. Because I think that secular Jews have to stay in Jerusalem and for the city to stay an open city. If not, it will close on itself. This is the reason why I'm there. And I totally agree with Eshkol. There's a sort of paranoia of the secular Jews that thinks that Jerusalem is an Orthodox city. This is not. You should visit. I invite you to visit.